Have you ever wondered how life operates? I'm talking about life having some kind of operating system or something, as if there maybe are rules behind the scenes that are making your life operate in some way where you make a decision and then things don't go the way that you expected. Or in other cases where you do nothing and then terrible things happen, or almost magical, wonderful things happen. Well, what's going on here? Well, the topic of today's short talk is life isn't happening to you, life is happening for you. You are the creator of your life. You are embedded in life. Life is embedded in you as well. Now, this is critical. My name is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers, and this is Greater Wealth Through Mastery. And in today's short talk, we're going to walk through very rapidly those ways in which life is actually happening for you, for your benefit, even when things are going terrible, even when things seem terrible, 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 way down in the dumps. I'm talking about the pit of despair. Things are happening for you. On the other hand, obviously things can be great and wonderful and you feel great. Now, the very, very first thing is you want to be living by your own rules. Now, the life that you live is happening. There's no way to stop life from happening. Even if you just sit and meditate and you take things one step at a time, you could be doing nothing or seemingly nothing, but life is still happening. Well, there are rules, and these are rules that are happening behind the scenes, but also the rules that you create. And so for every rule that you create, you're embedding that into reality. Now, I want you to think about that for a minute, because if you create rules and you create more and more of your life around those rules, great things happen. Life happens for you, not to you. Let's take an example. If you create a to-do list to get things done, and then you get those things done, you are in control. You are living according to the rule of the day, which is I am going to create a to-do list and get things done. And that means that life is happening for you, not to you. Now, if you do not make that to-do list, if you don't have a mental to-do list or a physical to-do list, that means that things are going to happen regardless. Things will happen. Life will happen. So why not make rules? Another example might be habits that you want to create and enforce. Something else might be random acts of kindness. Other things might include how and where and when you invest and for what purposes. Are you going to learn how to manage your portfolio? Are you going to learn the difference between personal finance and investing? Are you going to learn the difference between assets and liabilities? So you can see what happens here. Your learning, your process, your way of doing things means that you can force life to happen for you, or at least more in alignment with what you truly want deep down. Now, another thing here is that you have a story. Now, I have talked about this on the Rhodes Brothers channels before. So in other words, you absolutely have a story. All you have to do is go back in time mentally and kind of go, what happened way back when? How did I get here? What shaped my reality? What experiences, what people, what are the circumstances of my life? You have a story, a timeline. So you can write that down and you can understand it and you can see that life has happened perfectly. Life has happened exactly according to the timeline as you look back. So there's nothing stopping you from plotting and planning your future, looking into the future just like you look into the past right now, and you own that story behind you. Well, you can also own the story that is in front of you as well. Now, will it match up perfectly with what you envision, with the horizon? It's unlikely, but it'll be closer to what you want than if you do nothing at all. This will be life happening for you versus life happening to you. And I think that should be pretty obvious by this point in time. Now, another thing is that life happens for you on a daily basis. In fact, it happens on a minute by minute, hour by hour basis. Life is happening all around you, and all you have to do is pay attention. It's a simple act of being present in the moment and paying attention to what is actually happening in life and around you. What's happening to other people? Are things measuring up to your expectations? And if not, you have a gap. There is something you can go after. You can look at that gap and say, didn't happen how I wanted. So you can turn that into a plan of action so that life happens for you, so that you are the commander in chief of your own life. Another thing is that you can actually think of creating reality by what you are focusing on. So I've talked about attention, but you can also look around the room. You can look at the camera. You can look at the phone. You can look at the wall. You can look at the book. You can look at anything and everything all at once, in fact. And as you look at it, think of it as you are painting reality in front of you in terms of what you see, but also what you hear, what you feel, what you experience. Now, let me give you an example of something that's crazy and wild. Now, if you've ever worn a belt, now, you might have put your pants on and then put the belt on, and it's like, oh, the pants are tight, and that belt feels tight. But what happens after about 5 minutes? That's right. You forget that you're wearing tight pants in most cases, that you're wearing a tight belt. It kind of just fades into the background. That's what happens to so many people. They let life constrict them. They let life, choke them out, and then they just go along with the show instead of taking that step back and going, hey, the pants are too tight. The belt is too tight. What do I need to do to change it? How do I take control? How do I release? How do I loosen things up? Maybe I went a little far with the belt analogy, but you can kind of see what you pay attention to matters, and how you build reality matters, and how things shape around you based on what you are looking for and what you want. But you kind of paint your own reality. It's quite wild when you think about the metaphysics behind that. Now, another thing is if you want life to be working for you on your behalf, you can think of life as your friend, personify it. In other words, life is not just there and all around you, but personify life. Some people do this spiritually. They look to God, they look to that as a higher power, and that is what they do, and they personify things that way. But you can just sort of say, hey, life is all around me all the time. You can think of it in terms of the energy configurations around you. You can think of this so many different ways. But if you think of life as an ally, as a friend, as a mentor, as a teacher, then you can work with life hand in hand. Life is happening with you, not to you, right? So it's happening for your benefit. It's not just happening, period. And it's certainly not against you. Life is not working against you, trying to beat you down, although it might feel that way or think that way. So instead of being some enemy, because people do that anyway, they say, hey, life is an enemy. Life is against me. Everything, meaning life is against me. No, it's not. Turn it into a friend. Life is your friend, and life is working on your behalf, just like a good friend. We have a few more here, so stick with me. These last ones are really, really important. So really, really stick with me. Before we go on, do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button. It really, truly does so matter much to me and to my brother Matt Rhodes. It helps the channel live and prosper. Thank you very much. Now, another way that life happens for your benefit is that you can look at what's happening, the challenges in your life, the obstacles. And as you know, the obstacle is the way. When you face problems, when you face challenges, well, guess what? Those are problems or challenges to solve. Invariably, one way or another, you will solve the problems of life. Life will get fixed. You will be able to overcome the challenge, the problem. Something's going to happen. Something great, something wonderful. It will happen. Now, what's better is if you can be an active participant and have life work on your behalf. Have the challenge turn into a gift, whereby when you solve the challenge, when life helps you solve the challenge, when you have the epiphany, when the light bulb goes on above your head, that's life working for you, not against you. Now, the challenge was there to help you grow, and life will help you as well to solve that problem. And then you can share the gift with other people. If you face this challenge, here is how I solved that challenge. You can use that gift as an opportunity to create value for other people. This is of tremendous importance. Another thing is, and I'll wrap up with this because I think it's so important, and it's a great way to put the feather in the cap, as they say. You can flip the script on anything. Anytime that you think, oh, this is terrible, think about all the reasons it's great. Just go through the list of something that's just so terrible, like, oh, I'm delayed in traffic again. I'm going to have to be to work late. I'm going to get to my vacation destination late. I'm going to be late because of all the traffic. Well, think about that. You have time to listen to more great songs on the radio and sing along by yourself or sing along with your family. You have the opportunity to listen to maybe a podcast. Hint, hint, right? So you have more time to do what you want to do in a calm space. You're just there and you're waiting, for traffic to ease up. In other cases, you can, flex your patience muscle. You can get stronger and you can focus on the frustration and say, no, I'm going to get more patient. You can sort of mentally meditate. Don't close your eyes if you're in traffic, of course, but you can sort of meditate on the moment and learn to calm your nerves. You can look around and see how other people are frustrated and how you are not. You can think to yourself, well, maybe there are ways that I can help people who are stuck in traffic by smiling and being positive. Or maybe you can look off to the left or the right if you're really stuck in traffic truly and, give someone a smile so that they feel better, and you can share joy and happiness that way. Now, it gets kind of weird and all of that, but kind of think about it. If something's terrible and frustrating to you, it is yet another obstacle, and it's an opportunity to improve yourself and improve the lives of other people. So this is life happening for you. These obstacles, these challenges, these frustrations give you an opportunity to be a better person, be a better man, as they say. So you can do that in such a way that instead of being, woe is me, oh, look what life is throwing my way. Look at all this crap I have to deal with. Look at all this junk, bleh, right? And you can barf and, gnashing of claws and teeth. It won't do you any good. You will make no progress. But if you flip the script, then life is happening for your benefit, always and ever. Again, this is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so. And also like this video. It truly does matter. And share this message with other people because it's because of like-minded, success-oriented people just like you, that this channel is able to grow. We really do appreciate your time, your focus, your attention. In the next video, you will really, really enjoy the breakthrough that we are providing to you. On behalf of my brother Matt Rhodes and we are signing off. This is Greater Wealth Through Mastery, and take care. Thank you very much.